Hello, my name is Lee H. Tillman.
I'm Andrea Menchaca.
And welcome to Anxiety Twins. Thanks for hanging out with us for a bit. And you're still doing the thing. That's going to be our intro. It's just you in the back. All right. We've had a couple shows since the last time we talked. And
one of them together.
We had a show together last night. That was that last night? That was last night.
Yeah.
Didn't happen that well. It was because it was like a last minute thing for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Like they contacted me. You had been booked for a month or so.
I had been booked for February, but I messed up and I asked to go on a date that was not. I think I asked to go on a Wednesday. And no, I asked to go on a Thursday, and the show's usually on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
And they were like, sure.
Yeah.
Without telling me that we don't have a show that day.
Yeah. So then they ended up booking you in March.
Right.
So you were booked for a while, and then like 48 hours before this show, they were like, "Hey, you want to do it?" I guess they didn't. I don't know. Maybe somebody dropped out or they didn't have anyone, but they decided to contact me. The
lineup wasn't long enough.
Yeah. So we did a show last night together. Yeah, I just came back from Washington a couple days ago.
You did a casino.
Did a casino.
You're a casino man now.
Yeah. You want to talk about... So I think we can talk about comedy shows. Did you say you want to talk about books?
Yeah.
That you're reading? So we can talk about books.
We can talk about books.
And comedy shows. And maybe some TV shows that you're watching by yourself. We can talk about Bridgerton.
Yay.
You can talk about Bridgerton.
Bridgerton's gonna
the latest season
get the most views.
Yeah, that obviously is going to be the thing. See, the thing about doing shows at casinos, it's especially like in this part of the country, they're almost all like Native American, and they all have Native American names that I don't know if I'm pronouncing correctly. So I never want to say them out loud.
I'll say it. The Kilseta Casino.
Kilseta Casino I think the name of the city is Tulalip. I think that's how you pronounce it, Tulalip, Washington. A few things about that show was, one, I did it with this headliner that some people in the Portland community have like actively not wanted to work with.
Right.
People were talking like he was like really MAGA, and he's really not. I mean, he's
not MAGA.
He's not MAGA. I guess that's the best way to say
camp.
it. He's not MAGA. Like he's definitely leaning more towards conservative. So, because I looked at his social media stuff, and he's definitely not a fan of the left. But I don't know. He's not actively pro-Trump. He won't say it out loud anyway.
Yeah, he's only not MAGA because he's too lazy to be.
Yeah, I guess so.
He's like actively wouldn't say that. That sounds too stressful.
So I don't know. I guess I have a few things to say about it. Like, one is that there was definitely a lot of "you can't say anything anymore" type jokes.
And then he proceeded to say a lot.
Then he proceeded to talk for an hour.
He's like, "I do have an hour."
He's like, "Listen, we can't say anything anymore, but I'm going to talk for an hour." He did some accents, various accents.
Oh, okay.
There was some accent work. He's a guy that I disagree with, but it wasn't like it was a Klan meeting or anything. Like he was just a guy on stage that I disagreed with.
And you were featuring.
Yeah, I featured for him.
And the crowd was okay with you. Yeah, they weren't like, we were here for MAGA.
Yeah, it's not like they know who he is. It's a casino. They just walk in and they're like, all right,
nobody is like there for him.
They're in between gambling, and they just go in and be like, okay, let's see what this is. Like they didn't.
Yeah, my mandatory 20-minute gamble break.
Yeah, it's not like they like knew who he was and they're like fans of his and they're like going to go see him. I still did the same type of set that I did my left leaning stuff, and he did, and it went fine. They were fine with that, and then he did what he did, and they were all right with it. Like, it wasn't that big a deal. I will say that he does a type of thing that I've talked about before. I don't know if I've talked about it on the podcast, but I've definitely talked with you about it, is the type of person that tries to appear like they're in the middle, but they're really not. So I've worked with comics that do both left and right. They do this where they try to appear like they're like all politicians are terrible and, you know, we shouldn't support anybody.
That's what I was trying to ask you, if you think that I do that.
Yeah, I don't think you do that. But I've seen people do it, and then they're clearly like left leaning, and they clearly have a point of view, but they won't actually like do that. I don't know. They try to walk in the middle. They try to do middle of the road stuff,
Yeah,
and
like not lose any fans.
Yeah, and this guy was trying to do the all politicians are evil, but pretty obviously he's conservative. Like there was a time when he said something about Trump, and then someone in the crowd said something negative about Trump, said that they didn't like Trump or something. Mm-hmm. So he says, well, I don't know Trump personally, so all I know about Trump is what they say in the media, and obviously the media lies, so I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah. And then like not even 10 minutes later, I'd say like 2-3 minutes later, somebody brings up Joe Biden, and he's like, well, Joe Biden's an idiot. Mm-hmm. I'm like, well, obviously,
as far as the media says.
Yeah, you're not playing by the same rules. For one, it just feels cowardly to do it that way. But maybe even more importantly, because you're a comic, it's just not a good joke. Like if you're just doing like middle of the road and you're trying to like not say what you actually want to say, you're not going to write a good joke.
Well, you could, but you have to be a lot smarter than that. And because if you want to do like easy comedy, like you don't have to work really hard on it, then you do have to go for the like fuck Trump or Joe Biden sucks, or like just straightforward like fuck men, the whole like we are choosing a side and we're all cheering for it. Yeah, it's nice and simple. If you don't want to choose a side, then you're gonna have to be a lot more ambiguous, which requires
it's work. Just I don't know, if you can write a joke that me as a person who doesn't like Trump can hear it and be funny. Like, that's still funny. Yeah. That's a great joke. You've written a great joke.
And it's not easy. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I was more offended as a comic than a liberal with what he was doing.
And that's saying something, because as a liberal, pretty easy to be offended.
You can't say anything anymore.
Kind of offended the whole time we were talking just now.
Yeah. It was fine. It was just a show. It's not like I didn't pay the man to perform. Like no money was coming out of my pocket for him to perform.
Is that a thing people say?
Pay the piper. That means something else. But yeah. And I still did. It's not like I didn't do my type of humor.
Yeah.
It's not like I changed my set.
Cut to your coin joke.
Did you do any shows other than the show that we did last night?
Well, we did the Helium mic together.
Yeah, we did Helium mic
on Tuesday, which went well. I tried new stuff. I tried a joke about my grandpa, which I just remembered what I actually wanted to do. Like when I thought about telling a joke about my grandpa, it was actually about his death. So I forgot entirely the original premise, and then I went and did the line that I like. He wasn't a patient man, and neither am I, is the joke. But originally what I was thinking about actually was that I don't have a lot of memories of him. I have a couple of memories, and one of them is this one time we got a car, this New York car where the seatbelt puts itself on. Like you sit and then the seatbelt goes on.
Yeah.
And my grandpa, like, he was in the Navy, like the Mexican version of the Navy. I don't know what that's called.
Yep, still the Navy.
La Naval. I don't know. And he was like pretty reckless throughout his whole life. Like he didn't wear seatbelts. Like he was like pre-seatbelt. Like this man was built before seatbelts were created. So like when that seatbelt was put on him, like the face that he made, like he was appalled. He was like, I'm sorry. No, I'm not riding your fucking robot car. Like it wasn't even like a really, it was like a Subaru, like a Nissan Subaru, and the seatbelt put itself on, and he was like really offended. And that was just like a memory that I have very clear, because his face, like he was betrayed. He was like, you put me in this car.
He sounds like a libertarian.
He was very offended. So I have that memory, and that's just like silly. And then I have the other memory is like his death. Like he was in bed in his house, which was actually his father-in-law's house that we still own as a family. I don't know how that's going to end up eventually, but it's like, it was a really big house that originally was a farm, and then like the city moved in and it got smaller and smaller, and now it's just like a normal 8-bedroom house. And it was like a giant bed. He's in the middle of it. He looks tiny. And he's like barely wearing any clothes, because in his last days, they were taking care of him. And like the joke really funny, is that like these two memories that I have of him, and the one of him dying is like him being surrounded by his family in bed at home, which is not a terrible way to go, except if you're him, because he had two families. It's like, where's the other family?
Yeah, that's good.
That's better than not a patient man.
That's a good. You haven't tried that on stage?
I haven't. I forgot. I remember today.
That's good. I like that better than the patient man, because the patient man thing, it's silly.
It's silly.
And if the crowd doesn't want to go, like sometimes the crowd is just kind of like,
I don't think it's silly, because at its core, what I'm saying is that as a woman, nobody is ever depicted as I'm not a patient woman is not a thing people say, because as a woman you have to be patient, you have to be a mother, you have to like do all these things. You're not gonna be like, when I say my daughter knows I'm not a patient man, I mean like all of this picture of like what a perfect mother and woman is. I'm not doing that. And to me, it's like, it makes sense, but when I say it, it just sounds silly, which I don't mind. I think I still like it. I will defend that line to my last day in bed with my two families.
All right, with both your families.
You're going to meet my other husbands. And it's true. Like my dad has a half sibling, who has his same name, because it's the same name of my grandpa. And like, it's like normal to have your firstborn be named after you, I guess. So the other woman thought that was his firstborn, and it was not. It was, one of them wasn't. I don't know who, because I don't remember who's older, but he had two families his whole life and never wore a seatbelt.
That's all I know about him. And that's all that needs to be known about.
And that's all we need to know.
That's all we need to know.
That's it.
So last night we did
Pope House.
We did Pope House, Preach, the show Preach.
I was kind of dying. I like barely made it through my set.
What do you mean?
I had to sit down. I was like,
you were just tired?
I was not feeling good. Yeah, I'm still not feeling good today, but I just keep sleeping a lot. I think I'm broken.
Well, that goes without saying. I think we all know that. Or else you wouldn't be on a podcast. Yeah. Called Anxiety Twins.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot. I sat down for that set.
There was already a stool up there, and then you brought another stool upstairs.
Tyler called me two Stools Menchaca. It's like, you get two stools one time, immediately you get a nickname. It was a fine crowd.
Yeah.
But they really, really only wanted silly stuff. Yeah, they really. And you and I are not the silliest comics that there are. Like, that's one thing we have in common.
Yeah.
And I started kind of political, not on purpose, but just like, that was just like the jokes that were on my mind. I didn't like prepare a set specifically, or like, which wouldn't have mattered, because how am I supposed to know what kind of crowd they are until you're in there? So I had to like, I started political, then I moved into motherhood, and then I was like, okay, they don't like any of this. So I moved into dating, and they were into that. And then I just got sillier and sillier. And I think I ran it light a little bit, because I was like, no, we need to end on a good note. But they were a really silly bunch.
Yeah, they were. It took you a minute to get started, but like after a few minutes, you were good. Like after that, like they were in.
Well, they were also very supportive.
Yeah.
Like, and they would have liked anybody, but at first they were like, but they talk about Trump. Ew.
No, but you just, I don't know. They just really wanted silly stuff, because the first couple comics that went up and did that like they probably had the best sets of the night. They went up and just had like great sets, and then it was kind of not downhill, but it kind of plateaued.
It's not.
It never got to that level again.
It wasn't uphill, which is what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. It never got to that level again, because they just wanted fart jokes.
There was a lady in the back who like kept talking in the middle of your set.
That'll
you said you didn't hear her, but she was just like, she just kept yelling like one word.
Yeah. I only heard the one time when I told a joke about Tyler, Texas, but
yeah, and she just went, no. Okay.
Later on, she came up to me and told me that every time I tell a joke about Tyler, Texas, one person always comes up and tells me that they know someone, or they are from, they're never from. Yeah. Something happened. Yeah. They know it. Also at the casino show, I had two separate drunk guys in the crowd to the point where, so the host of the show is a woman, a white woman, and she's doing her set. And then I go up and I don't know what I was saying, but like he says, you must be a dog person. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? He's like, because you were talking about cats earlier. I'm like, did you think that I'm her? Because she told a joke about like cats. I'm just like,
one thing to confuse you with Jer and George.
I was like, how
random lady?
How drunk are you that you thought I was the same white woman that was here 10 minutes ago?
Wow.
So he was out of it the entire time.
Are drinks free at the casino?
If you're gambling.
Yeah.
So he was gone.
It's the word.
Yeah, he was schmackered from the moment that he walked in. And he was with this woman, but she was sitting as far away from him as possible. Apparently, like I guess it was a first date type situation, because she came up to me afterwards. She was like, I don't even know that guy's last name. I don't. And she's like, after she sat with him the whole time,
separated herself from him.
She was there the whole time, but like she left without him. He was there to talk. He came up. Obviously, he came up and talked to me afterwards.
Even if they were together, that'd be easy to do. You just walk away. He's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
He just grabs you. Come on, let's go.
She was like, I mean, she stayed for the show, so good on her. But she was, after the show, she was like, I am out of here. Never seen this guy again.
Nope.
And then another guy, I told a joke about
people. Even in Oregon, I'm always like, where have you been hiding? Like, I never see people like you.
Yeah. And this is one of the casinos that's only machines. And that's all it is. There's no like dealers or, blackjack, no cards, nothing, no roulette wheel, nothing. It's just people go in and then they sit at a machine and push buttons.
Yeah. I mean, good for them for not doing that on their phones.
I guess.
Look at you going places and shit.
Yeah, I guess they can leave and do that.
Little treat.
There was another guy. So I told a joke about about funerals. And then this guy says Black funerals are usually more joyful. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what? Huh? What?
Wait, why? Who brought funerals up?
I did. I told a joke about it, but he's in the crowd. This other guy, not the same drunk guy, a different drunk guy. He just yelled that. He was like, "You black funerals are usually very joyful." I'm like, yeah.
In the movies, where have you ever been?
Cool,
to?
Man. Thanks. And this is a white guy telling me about Black funerals. I'm like, all right, man. Thanks. Okay. Thanks for that information, I guess.
That's fun.
So, but I mean, to be like, I roasted them for a bit, but like overall, like, I don't know, they went in and out. It wasn't like they were talking the entire time. I did 30 minutes. It wasn't, they weren't talking like the entire time, but it was, it was fun.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
The good time was had by all.
Wow.
And then the conservative guy came out. and they had more fun.
That's the whole story.
They had a little more fun.
You're doing another casino tomorrow.
I'm going to Northern California. I asked you if you wanted to come and you were like, nope.
I have a show.
Even before that.
I have always had a show.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. I'm going to Corning, California.
Been there always.
For the Rolling Hills Casino.
I have a show in Tigard. I'm doing next up.
So I got to the show early so that I could like check into my hotel, and I found out that the casino doesn't have a hotel. I got an email, but the email that I got only gives like the money information, like no name of the hotel, no address or nothing. So I like ask one of the security people, does this place have a hotel? And they're like, no. So then I talked to a manager and he's like, oh, I think that they probably put you up in this other like hotel. I think you're going to be over here. So I'm like, all right. And it's like a 5-minute drive from where I am. So I drive.
Luckily you had a car.
Yeah.
You just put in one address and then they drop you off.
Yeah. So I drive over there thinking I'm going to a hotel, and then I see that it's a casino. I'm like, did you just send me to a different casino? Like, am I staying in one casino and performing in another one? Like, this is weird. And then I went, and that's exactly what happened. I stayed in one casino and performed in another, which feels a little rude.
I mean,
I guess, but like I didn't know that information.
I have never performed in a casino. Like the only time that I've been was when I went with you to one of them. But my biggest fear in that scenario would be that like the next day I'm just trying to have breakfast and everybody's like, "Hey, it's the comic." So I would love to perform at one casino, stay at another. Just
I guess so.
Run away from the crowd and hopefully they never see you again.
That has happened. I have been eating breakfast the next morning and then someone comes up to me.
I do not want that to happen ever to me. I mean, you're the kind of person who's just like, yep, that's me. But me, I would be like, yes, hi, thank you. Oh my God. So were you there? Did you enjoy yourselves? And inside my head, I'm like, shut up. No one cares.
But it was a very nice hotel. One thing about the person that books my casino shows, very nice hotels.
Yeah.
She always puts me up in nice hotels. They're very nice. There's nothing else about Preach that we want to talk about?
No, Preach. Amen.
Yeah, it's normal. I hadn't done that show in a year. I hadn't done it since last February when they booked me. They had an all black show and they booked me for that. And then I haven't been on that show
since. Not even this February?
Not even this February.
It's already March, by the way.
Yep.
I had a lot of meetings today. Mm-hmm. And then I fell asleep for 3 hours. I had 3 meetings and they were not exhausting. Like I met with some of the moms at school at the coffee shop on Woodstock. We're doing fundraising. So we had a fundraising meeting early this morning. Mm-hmm. And then I had another meeting for this class. I'm going to start taking a business class in April. So I'm going to be all business.
All business.
Which I told our daughter that I was going to take a business class. And she said, but what if it's none of your business? This girl being raised by comic book here. What was the other thing she did? She watched a little bit of one of my videos where I talk about Democrats.
Yeah.
And then she used my line against me. Later on that night, she was like, I don't understand your comedy. And I was like, it's because you're a little girl. And she was like, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. This joke keeps aging so well. She was just using my line in a mocky voice. I was like, this is very rude. I did not sign up for this.
Well,
I mean, I appreciate that you have humor.
She remembered the joke. She didn't get the joke, but
it was literally earlier that day. It would be concerning if she had forgotten.
I mean, she was paying attention. But she knew how to deliver it to where
she knew how to hurt my feelings.
Yeah, there you go.
All well done. Mm-hmm. And then the third meeting that I had today was I went with Randall, the videographer that does all the video in Portland. It feels like because he's going to record my special, and we went to see Milagro Space again. We talked about this last time. I think I went to see it. Did we talk about it on the podcast?
I don't think so.
I went to see it with Julia, and then they told me that they don't have a mic, and the lady that told us that they don't have a mic was being kind of like, you don't need a mic. And I was like, well, that's not what I asked. I asked, do you have a mic? I don't care about your opinion. And I mean, I was trying to be nice about it, but Julia was like, she does need a mic. And the lady was like, she does not. And I'm like, I'm right here. I was in the middle of them. I was just looking at them fight over the mic. I was like, I just needed to know if you have one. If not, I'll figure it out. But it was kind of stressful. Like after that, I was like, shit, I'm gonna have to figure it out. So then today I went with Randall, and the place where the lady had said that we should put the camera, he was like, that's not a good place because it's just gonna look like a security footage. Like it's just up there, like just my forehead.
Yeah,
it's in the shot. So he's gonna do 3 cameras.
Okay,
I haven't told you this. So he's bringing a dolly and he's going to put it like front and center in like the closest seating area pocket and like in the front, because it's like one side and then the other side. And then there's some seats right here. So he's going to do that one. He's going to be there himself. And then he's going to do 2 more on the sides that are not managed, or what's it called? Like there's not humans there, but they're just running. I'm excited. I think it's going to look good. I didn't expect him to be able to do 3 cameras. He doesn't even have to plug into anything because it's just an hour. So he's just running off batteries.
He's doing all the audio too?
Okay. So then he said that he can also do a mic and the sound, and he has equipment. He's going to bring all that.
Is this the same price that you talked on before?
Yep.
Cool. All right, 3 cameras. I think I did 2 cameras. Mine was when I did my special. It was 2 cameras. One was on a dolly.
Yeah. Well, it's really good that Randall was available and he was able to do it because I feel a lot less stressed. I know that he knows everything. And also he's recorded me a lot. So he like knows kind of like what I do. Because the lady was like suggesting some different things and he's like, well, you don't really move much, do you? And I'm like, no, I mean, I'll take a few steps, but I'm like, I'm kind of just here. So he'll just give me some marks that make sense where the cameras are so I don't get too far away from that. And that's it. You don't need like 3 staff like moving the cameras around because it's like, I'm not going anywhere. It's not theater, it's stand up. So that was the thing I did today. And then I took a 3-hour nap because I felt like I deserved it.
Yeah.
It's a little treat.
Is it Robot Pirate? That's the name of his company?
Yeah.
Robot Pirate for all your audio visual needs.
That was pretty good.
Shout out to Randall.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I still have never been to this theater, so
it's gonna be your first time?
I guess I'll see it on the 21st.
Yeah, I have been 3 times already to like visit and to perform, and now I feel like I understand how it's a maze behind stage, and there's like the gallery on the corner, and then the basement has like some more bathrooms and space, and then the office, and there's like 3 different doors that go out to the street in that one corner. It's confusing. This is the place where I was trying to get like a mic happening, but they don't have a mic.
Yeah, they literally do not have a mic. So.
You can't have a mic without a mic.
You don't need a mic, just project.
Oh, it's like we're talking right now. You hear how soft my voice is? I'm just a girl.
So
special's coming. Now I just have to write.
Yeah, special. Now you just have to write. You have about a week. It's next week?
No, the following
2 weeks. 2 weeks. You got 2 weeks to write an hour.
I got 2 weeks.
Good luck. Books? You want to talk books?
What books are you reading?
I am currently reading.
We should have our own book club on this podcast.
Well, I don't think we read enough books to consider. I mean, I am always reading a book, but I think like last year I read like 7, which is not like a crazy amount of books.
That is crazy. Oh my God.
That's not a crazy amount of books.
Were they all the Bible?
They were all every 7 books of the Bible. So
every books are the Bible, really.
Yeah. Every book is the Bible? Okay.
It's just different characters.
That's one way to put it. So I'm reading right now a book called Mother Mary Comes to Me. And this is a woman she is Indian. So I hope I don't mispronounce her name right now. Arundhati Roy.
Then why is it called Mother Mary?
Her mother's name is Mary Roy.
Her mother is also Indian and her name is Mary Roy.
Yeah. I don't know how that happens.
You haven't gotten to that part.
I mean, like her dad's last name is Roy. I don't know how and her dad is Indian. I don't know. I don't know how it happens, but
all right. So every once in a while, just like a Eastern name.
So her mom, she ran this school, like this independent school that she just funded and created herself. She's like a well-respected person in the community. There was a rule where a daughter could not inherit her father's property. So she kind of sued the government so that she could like get access to this house that her brother was like living in. And she said she felt that she should own it. I believe she was the older one. So she ended up like winning this. And because of that, like she became like this famous woman fighting for women's rights and things like that. So she's really popular. People loved her. But also, according to her daughter, the school was kind of a cult. She doesn't really get like really into specifics. She talks more about how her mother treated her, which is she was very stern. She would be mean. She hit her sometimes. She was very like withholding. She actually calls her mother Mrs. Roy. Like she never calls her mom ever. Like she literally, because she was in the school and
everybody called her.
Yeah, everyone called her Mrs. Roy. So because of that, they never wanted to appear like they were getting like it's her and her brother. Didn't want to feel like they were getting preferential treatment. Yeah. So they just called her Mrs. Roy also. And to this day, well, not to this day because she's not alive anymore, but like her entire life, she never called her mom she just called her Mrs. Roy.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
What made you want to read this book? It sounds terrible.
How I figured all the books that I wanted to read this year, because I had like a little list, was I looked up, I think like maybe New York Times had a bestsellers list.
You have no whimsy. You sit down and you make a list, books that I'm going to read this year.
Yeah. ...
And then you Google best books to read. And then you just write down those titles. And then you buy them and then you read them. That's it?
Yeah.
No whimsy.
What,
you don't just go to the bookstore and you're like, oh, that's a fun cover. And then you open it and you're like, wow.
Do you have the book that you're reading right now? Because it is literally just a book that has a bunch of colors. It has rainbow colors on the front.
Maybe.
Is that how you picked a book? You picked a book by its cover?
Yeah. Famously, that's how you're supposed to judge a book.
Yeah. Okay. Forgot about that. So I looked at the list. I looked at each one, see which one was interesting, but also I looked at how long the book is, because I don't want to read like a 500-page book. And also just looked at like the rating, like on Goodreads, they have like ratings and everything. So I just picked like 5 books out of that. And I was like, okay, this one has good ratings. It's not super long and it looks interesting. And that's it. I've read 3 of the, I don't know how many I have on the list. I think I have like 5. But I've read, well, I'm in the middle of one, so I've only read 2, but I'm in the middle of the 3rd one right now.
Of your list for the year?
Of my list for the year.
Wow. You just sucked all the fun out of that.
I'm trying to read more fiction, even though like the last 2 books I've read actually are like nonfiction, but what I'm reading right now is nonfiction because it's a memoir. But
why are you trying to read more fiction? You think you can will yourself to be more whimsy?
Yeah, I'm trying to be more whimsical. No, it's just that you want to think about like storytelling and how people.
Oh my God. You're just doing it because you want it to be helpful for your work?
Yeah, to be able to write. I think men in generally do read stuff that's like
documentaries about
nonfiction,
the Civil War,
because they just want facts and everything. And the thing about like, if you do read a book that is nonfiction, even if you don't like it, you'll at least learn something.
Did you know actually, so I don't think we talked about this on the podcast at all, but our daughter goes to Montessori school and I went to Montessori school, and I really believe in the way that they teach or the way that they think that people learn. And part of what Maria Montessori used to say is that young kids should not be reading fiction because that's in early stages of reading, like when they're like 4 to 12 or whatever, like elementary school. They should not lead with fiction, at least. Like it should be more nonfiction, because those are like the ages where you absorb the most information. And they also like kids just want to know how the world works. And a lot of those like pretend stories where like there's a blue horse and he like jumps over giant tomatoes or whatever. It's like, what was the point of that? And B, like now kids are just confused because they didn't think blue horses were a thing. And now they're like, is that real? And third, we're just like wasting time, basically.
When do they use their imaginations?
They use their imaginations. You don't have to do it for them. So if a kid wants to imagine that there's a blue horse, they can. But we don't just all have to now decide to believe in the same pretend stuff. And I really actually believe that, like when you're little, but as you get older, you know how the world works. If anything, you know too much. Like you know more than you should, honestly. So like that's when you get older, I think is when you should dive more into, because it's the opposite. Now you need whimsy, whereas when you're little, you just have it. But at the same time, you're also trying to learn about the world. And the other thing that they say is that kids are supposed to learn how to write before they learn how to read. And I feel the same way about my process when it comes to writing comedy. Like I don't really need to know how other people do comedy. I don't need to know the rules of comedy. I just want to write how I want to write. And the reason why kids are supposed to write before they read is because you have no incentive to read other people's thoughts. You have more incentive to write what you're thinking. So the way that they do that is they have wooden letters so that you don't have to physically use your fingers to write, because they're not old enough for that when they're old enough to think of stories to write. So they just like build it as a puzzle with words. And I don't know. I really believe that that's true. I'm thinking about this a lot recently because everybody's thinking about what school to go to next year and like what elementary age kids need and stuff. And there's like some stuff in Montessori that doesn't translate one-to-one. Like it just reminded me because you're saying like, oh, you're learning something. But I feel like when you read nonfiction, you're also learning something. It's just not a fact. It's still a learning experience, but you don't value it because you think like only things that are real or that happened are like things that need to remain in your brain. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of like how people look at school as well. Like if you can pass this test, then the thing that you learned is valuable. But during elementary age, like kids are learning a lot about social relations and like how to behave in the world and like what's it like to have a feeling that is conflicting with another feeling. And there's no text or like tests to prove that you have social intelligence. Mm-hmm. But like that doesn't mean that you're not learning things.
Yeah.
In conclusion, you need to be more whimsy, and I really need you to just read a book randomly because it looks pretty.
We both have dyslexia, right? Mm-hmm. You have dyslexia.
I have dyslexia and ADHD. You have dyslexia and autism.
I'm not autistic.
I just tell you you're autistic randomly, and then you're like, nope.
I have.
Fine.
I've taken tests. I have
have taken tests for autism?
A master's degree in psychology. I've done all the things, and I'm not.
You have to have two things. You can just have dyslexia.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you have dyslexia? I mean, yeah. And dysgraphia or something?
I don't know. But reading has always been, never been fun. Like it's always been like I had to like work to do at it. So like when I did read something, I just want it to be something that I'm actually going to enjoy. Mm-hmm. And not like, I don't like starting something and not finishing it. So I don't want to like read a book and like, this is terrible. I don't like doing this. And then leaving it. Because I mean, there are definitely books that I've started and I haven't finished. So that's why I like look up and say, okay, what's this book about? What are other people saying about it? And then I read.
So a book that I started reading and I didn't finish because it's actually really popular right now. It's called Cool Girls Get Fired. And TikTok recommended it to me because I got laid off as well as like millions of people. And this book, I didn't realize it's like fairly new because like as I was reading it, it was literally like, oh, maybe you got laid off because of something dumb that Trump did. And I was like, wait, was this printed yesterday? Like, what the hell? I didn't finish it because it's not applicable. Like it was a little bit too like specific advice. And they're doing really good. They have it was co-authored by two women who are in the fashion industry. They worked there for a fashion magazine. And of course, that's an industry that's like,
I mean, how well is this? I don't know. I know literally nothing about the book, but how well is this research? It just sounds like someone just wrote a book.
Yeah, it literally is.
It just feels like
it's not very well researched.
Okay.
But I was just curious. Anyway, the chapters are like gives you advice, but it's just really like superficial stuff. It's not even about, I thought it was going to be like, how does it feel to be seen by other people as like not necessary, and then you get fired, and like how your job is not your value or like anything like that, kind of like more like a deeper sense of it. Yeah. But it's very superficial. It's just like, you should cut back on eating out. You should like plan on looking for other jobs, like stuff that's like obvious stuff like that. But then in between those chapters, there's some interviews with famous people who were fired or just like told no, I guess. And there was only like this one chapter. That was the only chapter that I enjoyed, was with Lisa Kudrow, the actress who plays Phoebe in Friends. Only because I know a lot. I've watched most of Friends, I think, at this point, and I know a lot about that show. I thought, but then like seeing her story about how she got hired for that show, which was a series of events of her getting fired from every other show so that she would become available for that. The point being, obviously, like, being fired was ultimately a net positive for her. But that wasn't really even my takeaway. It was just interesting because it was just stuff that I didn't actually know. Like, I didn't realize that her character was created as the twin of her other character in a different show because she was doing Frasier, and she played a waitress in Frasier. And then in Friends, the character in Friends was the twin sister of that character. So there was like some episodes that would overlap, and I did see her having a twin, but I didn't realize that the other character already existed previously.
I don't remember her in Frasier at all.
Well, it was kind of a recurring character, but not a main character. So anyway, this was just a book that I was like, seems like it might apply to me. I got laid off like 6 months ago. It's not that fresh. I don't care as much as I did when I maybe like looked up the book. But then I just left it. I mean, I don't mind. I just skipped through a bunch of pages and was like, nah.
Yeah. I just don't like doing that type of, like, if I just see something and I'm like, oh, this might look good, and then I start reading it and it's not.
I don't care.
I always feel like, I feel like I wasted my time.
The book's
but also
time.
The book, I've wasted my time, I wasted the book's time, the writer's time, the people who printed it all on the page, all those people. No, I just feel like, I don't know. I want to.
You should start a website called Bad Reads.
All the books
I read 15 pages of this sucker, and let me tell you,
garbage.
Too many. I got too far into that one.
Every now and then I watch a movie and then I'll read the book. I've done that a couple of times. We watch One Battle After Another. I started reading Vineland. I mean, it's not directly like one to one.
Was any of the characters in the book wearing a robe?
The main character from One Battle After Another, Bob, Leonardo DiCaprio character, is the main character in this book. And I just hate the way he writes. It's just like, imagine if Bob wrote a book. It's just like it's just scatterbrained and all over the place. And
new information has come to light.
That's a different character.
But it was based on him. Well, Leonardo DiCaprio said that was he was channeling.
Of course.
The dude.
Who else would he?
He was wearing a robe, which is the dude's wardrobe, I believe.
Yeah, so I tried to read Vineland and I just couldn't.
It's just called Vineland?
Vineland.
Oh.
I've read like 15% of the book. I'm like,
that's the other thing. I like to read physical books.
I do too, but I also don't like having things. Well, I don't like there's even things that, like, I love music.
My books are behind you, really?
Yeah, I love music. I love collecting records, but then I got to a point where it's like, yeah, I don't like having stuff or like carrying stuff around. So like even things that I actually like really, really do love, I don't like having a lot of them. I do like reading physical books, but I dislike having things more.
The last 3 books that I read or that I'm still reading are from the library. I'm returning them.
Yeah.
Although I do have a book that's there behind you by Noam Chomsky that I like because I like linguistics and like languages and stuff. But the first 100 pages are missing. And every once in a while, they'll say like, as we talked about in the first chapter.
What? You got it from the library?
No,
why are 100 pages missing?
I just bought it like used or something. And I was like, oh, I like Noam Chomsky, but I didn't like open it or like looked. And I just don't get rid of it. I have a book that's missing 100 pages.
That's a lot of pages.
But you know what that makes me?
What to make you?
Whimsical.
Yeah. Whimsical.
Yeah.
By having not all the information.
My grandkids will be talking to each other one day about how I left them behind a book that's missing 100 pages. And now they have to throw it away instead of me doing it.
Of the 7 books that I read last year, only like 2 of them I actually enjoyed. The rest of them were like, yeah, all right, fine. Yeah.
Which one was the 2?
Nickel Boys was one of them.
And there's also a movie or show?
Yeah, there was a movie. Like I watched the movie.
That was one of those.
And then I read the book and I enjoyed it probably equally. Okay. Like it wasn't even like most people like the book was better. Like
it was strongly based on the book.
Yeah.
People are always going to say the book is better because there's just way more time.
Yeah.
Like you can explain and dive into detail and give like all of this background that a character can't just like do in a movie because they're not like, you know what's really interesting about me or whatever. Like, how do you bring up all this
and there's
stuff?
a lot of like inner dialogue that you can write in a book, where in a movie you'd have to do like voiceover, which some people hate doing.
Or they just give you a look and you're like, was that supposed to mean something?
But it's one of the few times where I think the book and the movie are equally good.
What was the other one you said too?
The other book was a book called Homecoming. It's the story of two, I believe they're cousins. And one of them was sold into slavery and the other one was kidnapped and like taken by white people. So one of them like lives with white people in Africa and the other one goes to America and is a slave. So it tells both those stories, which I don't know if I've ever read a story that does something like that. So it was interesting.
And they never meet?
These people never meet, but it goes on until like present times. So it's their kids and their kids and their kids and their kids, and it just goes on. So their, you know, great grandkids eventually meet in America or something like that.
How long was that book?
It wasn't that long. It was just because it kind of like skips from, it'll tell like one story of a person and then the next chapter will just be that person's grandkid.
You already moved on a generation.
Yeah, you've already like moved on. So it's really interesting. It's called Homecoming. The other book that I read was Little Bosses Everywhere. It's about multi-level marketing.
I read Little Shop of Horrors is what I was going to say. Spell Shop. The Spell Shop is what it's called. That's the one that I just saw the picture of a cabin and I was like, that looks like fun. And
you said that I would make fun of you for reading that book.
Yeah, so I didn't realize like the cult that I was kind of going into because I Googled the author and I found her, like the first thing that came up was Instagram and there was a picture of her with a fan who dressed as the character in the book. And then I went to see what other books she wrote, and pretty much every book is the same. Like, I mean, I only read one, but the other, like the premise is always like, it's a magical, fantastical town and there's like a girl and she finds love or something similar. But it's very like out there in like the, I don't know, like almost Harry Potter realm. Like she has blue hair and some other people in the town have hoofs and some people have wings and there's cats that also have bat wings and there's mermans and mer horses and just like just almost like to just like throw more shit out there, like I don't know. And then also like the fishes can talk, like I don't fucking know, like anything. But it's like it is kind of just like a soothing book where like not much happens. It's the Gilmore Girls of books. Okay. Which is what I like to watch the Gilmore Girls for. Just like nothing happens. And
yeah, that sounds very whimsical.
It is very whimsical.
Where nothing happens?
And nothing happens, which I love. I mean, no, like things happen. Like she like runs away from the city to the country because there's political unrest and the revolutionaries are burning things and she's a librarian, so she's trying to save the books. And she goes to her hometown where her house where she grew up is intact. Like for some reason nobody thought to go in there. Like her mom's dresses are there and like, her cooking recipe book is there, like everything, which is just like, okay, that's, I mean, the cats can fly, but I don't believe that nobody stole your shit while you were away for 30 years. Stuff happens. And then she has a very like written by a woman romance with a man who is just like very distant and respectful, and they don't kiss until almost the second to last chapter or something. Like it's all like winking at each other and like walking past, and
it's a real will they won't they.
Yeah, like I wonder if he thinks about me that way. Like those types of things. But it was good. I don't want to read the other 7, which are like basically just a different iteration of the same story, but I liked it.
Well, that's good. But you don't want to read. So you're writing, or you're trying to write a script for that's little science fiction type stuff.
Based on a nightmare that I had.
You going to throw some talking cats in there?
No. How dare you? How dare you suggest such a thing? There was a talking cat right outside our house a few minutes ago.
You've never heard a cat in heat before?
I guess I haven't. It scared the crap out of me.
Like I was like,
oh, I thought he was dying. I was just opening the door to see if he was dying.
That's what it's generally like a male cat. Male cats, when they're in heat, they just sound like that.
Well, I opened the door and the cat was really beautiful, so I don't think he was a man.
Really?
He just had long hair and long lashes and blue eyes. He looked at me.
This was a cat?
Yeah. Well, maybe I should check again. And he looked at me with a judgmental look and...
No, that was a cat. That was definitely a cat.
He gave me one of these like one eyebrow things like, yes. I opened the door and was like, I live here. And the cat was like, well, you shouldn't.
He was looking for someone else.
Yeah, he was looking for a sexy cat that used to live here.
I used to really like Zadie Smith. Or at least I thought I did. I read her first book and I really enjoyed it. And then since then, I've always read almost everything that she's put out. And then I just realized, like just last year, I read her most recent book. She wrote a book called Swing Time. And I was like, yeah, I really don't enjoy this at all. So I went online to see like what other people are saying about her. And like, I feel like most people are like, yeah, she was just like a one-hit wonder. Like no one seems to, even though she still gets like people, she gets interviewed, like she's on NPR, getting interviewed. That
must be hard
every year. So
when people like expect something of you and you're like, oh shit, now I gotta write another one.
Yeah, and I just came to the realization and like, yeah, I don't think I actually enjoy Zadie Smith at all.
I read Normal People and you told me that you thought it was weird because, well, like you thought it was weird that I enjoyed it because you saw the movie and they yell a lot.
Yeah.
In the book, they don't yell as much.
It's the movie is very dark.
It's not very yelly.
Yeah. Well, it stars Mary Tyler Moore, who is known for being very cheerful and very like bright and happy. And like she took this role on and she goes very dark. She's like really mean into it. So that probably makes it look even meaner than it actually is, just because it's this woman that's known for being, you know, like imagine if like Betty White or something played like
had to be mean.
Yeah, it was playing like a terrible, horrible mother. It's just weird. So I don't know. I thought it was weird that you were reading that book and you enjoyed it, because it seems like, because even when I told you about this other book that I'm reading about this woman with a, you know, difficult mother, you were like, that sounds terrible. Why would you read that?
But that's because that was a woman with a difficult mother. This is a teenage boy with a difficult mother.
And that's different because
I don't relate to teenage boys.
Well, she has this author has a brother.
I have a.
It's not about her, but it's not about him.
Soft spot for mother-daughter relationships. Mother-son relationships are always toxic in a different way. Like he's always like. There's this one British comic that has a joke about like mother-son is like, I love you very much, my special boy. And then mother-daughter is like, you look fat in that. Like that's like the traditional thing that happens. So like, at least with a toxic mother with a boy, it's like a little bit different and just like more unexpected in ways. And in the book, at least, I don't know about the movie, he has his dad a lot. So it's more about like, instead of it being how terrible it feels not to have a good mom, it's more about like how he figures out how to be a man through his dad without a mom.
What about father and son stories? How you feel about those?
They don't make him
like difficult.
Like who?
Like difficult father. Like, you know, maybe their father like beat them, or maybe like left them when they were younger, and then he comes back and tries to be a dad, and you never read anything
with a son. I can't think of any.
I mean, I know those stories are out there. I can't think of any movies like offhand, but yeah, that seems like a pretty normal thing to write about. I don't know.
Now I'm thinking I should probably read the Bridgerton books, because this last season is the first season of Bridgerton that is not based on a book, and it's obviously not as good because they're just like
they're winging it.
Yeah, they're just winging it. It was good.
Is it? Is it good?
I said really
Yeah,
weird. I was gonna say like as far as Bridgerton goes.
See, so here is why I can't really take your opinions on like what books I choose or like anything, because you generally enjoy terrible things.
But that's what I'm saying.
But like
you should read some
that's
terrible
not
things.
whimsy.
It's part of
that's
life.
just
it's part of life.
You why don't you want something that's actually good?
I mean, I do.
That's not whimsical.
I do.
I don't know what
like
that is.
To watch good movies sometimes, but you gotta take the good with the bad.
And it's mostly bad.
I don't know what I'm saying anymore. How are you gonna be able to know whether it's a good movie if you only ever see good movies? You gotta have something to talk about. Okay. And you know what I love about Bridgerton? My friends and I are always talking about it because it's so ridiculous. Like sometimes there's just sex scenes that you're like, no, like this is just really weird. I don't know. And just like, especially this last season, because they're just off the rails. Now, supposedly, it's fine for them to having sex even though they're not married yet. It was like a Cinderella story. So they used the Cinderella arc, which means that from the beginning we knew what was going to happen because we know how Cinderella.
We've all seen Cinderella.
But then also like the whole like her reputation is ruined now didn't apply at all, I guess, because she was a cleaning lady. She was a maid.
Okay, I guess I have no idea.
But also, like, they let you know that she's a virgin because that's important.
I think the only character I know is Lady Whistledown.
So that's the other thing.
That's the only.
Lady Whistledown was outed last season. So, like, now everybody knows who she is. And she continues to write a column.
Even though people know who she is.
Even though people know who she is. And in the whole thing, they're like coming to her house now being like, can you write about me? Or can you like not write this or whatever? And it's like, well, now what's the point? That's why the books end when they out her. But the show was like, I bet we could stretch this out just a little bit more.
I bet Andrea will watch one more season of this. She'll pay for Netflix for one more year so that she can watch the rest of this.
And I would.
And
you know what else? I have a Bridgerton board game that my mom gave me because she doesn't know me at all. I mean, she was kind of onto something there.
Yeah, she bought you a candle from Luke's Cafe. And then she knows you like, TV shows and stuff, and she'll just
she knows me like my Instagram algorithm knows me. Which is to say she knows me a lot. Also it's really unfair because the Dutch Brothers gift card that she gave me was just a random day on a Tuesday. She was just like, somebody gave me this, do you want it? And I was like, yes, I do. I've been making fun of her for that on stage for years now.
Nice.
And I shall continue to do so. I will record it on my special and play it on a loop.
Nice. I still have yet. Well, it's because I don't really drink coffee like that. So
yeah,
I've yet to actually go to one.
I know. I live in that place in between when it comes to coffee because I grew up with coffee. Like in my family, like people got together on Sunday after church for lunch, which is like our dinner in Mexico time, and for at three-ish, like 1 to or 3, and then for like 4 hours the adults would eat and hang out, and then they would drink coffee for like 2 more hours, so like the meal would last forever. And I was allowed to have coffee at a pretty early age, and that's kind of like a European thing to like always have coffee with a meal, like after a meal. But then sometimes like my tolerance to coffee becomes so high that I'll want to have like terrible American coffee, like where like, and by American, I mean like the way Americans drink coffee, which is really just like milk and sugar and like burnt coffee from McDonald's. And that's when I end up with Dutch Brothers because like Dutch Brothers is not good coffee, especially not like good hot coffee.
Now we're not getting a sponsorship from Dutch Brothers now. Way to go.
We were never going to get it because I'm mean in different ways on stage. They make Mormon drinks. They make like all the caffeinated iced blue. And
is it religious?
I don't know.
Dutch Brothers?
I really should know more about them for how much I talk about them.
For much as you talk about them, you should. Maybe you get some more, get extra 10 minutes of material out of them.
Yeah, if I knew more.
Yeah.
Well, I'm waiting for the documentary to come out. How am I supposed to read about him? Ew.
Is there really a documentary? Or you just say that?
I just say that.
Oh. Anything else?
About what?
Anything.
About anything?
Anything.
It's the same sound. This guy. I want to check on the cat. I think he's dying.
Why are you so obsessed with this cat?
Because before you came into my life, I was a cat lady.
Mm-hmm.
I used to.
That's usually how it happens.
I even had a joke on stage. Did you ever see me do that?
Mm-mm.
I was like, other neighborhood cats started coming to my porch, and then you came along and they just left. They were like, my bad. I thought you. We can make mistakes.
I thought you needed us.
Yeah. Sorry. So I'm a cat lady at heart, but I believe cats should all be free. And there's like two camps of cat ladies. The cat ladies that believe that cats should be free and you just feed the neighborhood cats, and the cat ladies that treat their cats like babies. And they're like, cut their nails and don't let them go outside and stuff.
I don't think we should own animals at all.
That's what I'm saying.
No dogs, no cats. I don't think we should do it.
I mean, I think they need to be fed, but I don't think we should own them.
I mean, I think they should do whatever. Like, we don't need to feed them.
Yeah.
They should be wolves. They should be out there doing whatever it is.
Well, it's too late for that now.
Whatever they want.
I mean, maybe stop breeding more dogs.
Yeah.
But like, I remember, and this isn't even a Mexico thing. This is just like back in the day. Like, I don't know if this happened here too. Like, there were just like dogs in the street. Did that happen
here? No, that doesn't happen here.
Never?
I guess if you're like in the backwoods of Mississippi, probably maybe.
Yeah.
But like in a normal city, no, I don't think I've ever like turned a corner and seen like 4 dogs.
In my hometown, it was like that. Not anymore. Like now, everybody is like, even Mexicans like put sweaters on their dogs and stuff. But before, it used to be like, if there was a taco stand, they would like give the dogs the scraps over there. You could see them like eating.
Yeah, like in all the cartoons.
Yeah.
Lady and the Tramp, they always.
Yeah. Although in Lady and the Tramp is really weird because they don't give them scraps. They make pasta for them. No, they show up and they're like, Padini, make them a pasta for the doggies. And they're like, like, if there was like, there's like all these extra pasta. And by the way, I'm not being rude against Italians. Disney was being rude against Italians. I was just paraphrasing.
I feel like there was, because we watched it recently, like less than a year ago. I think we watched Lady and the Tramp.
Yeah,
and
without our kid too. It was just us.
I think we did, right?
It was just us. Yeah.
And
we just had to know what happens.
Yeah, and I remember that scene, and I forgot. Like, there's a second guy. Like, there's the one guy that's like really excited about feeding, and the other guy's like, "This guy's a creep." What is wrong?
The other guy's like, "Are you sure?"
Like, why are we doing this? What is wrong with this guy?
He's like, "I'm literally closing up." No, I have to go back inside and make more pasta for the doggies.
I'm like, all right, this guy's a weirdo.
Oh, look at them. They're eating. They're like Linda from Bob's Burgers.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys. My name is Lee H. Tillman.
I'm Andrea Menchaca.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.
Bye.